Good evening, guys. Today I'll be talking about some things you might have heard about Northern Cyprus, which might not be true or might be true. So I'll be telling you everything I know about Cyprus as someone who has lived in Cyprus for 8 good years. So before we go further, first let me introduce myself. My name is Gloria Joseph, CEO Gloria International Edu Network. Thank you for always watching my videos, commenting, liking, and tagging your friends, sharing. I appreciate it. So, straight to our talk. Northern Cyprus is an island under Turkey, which is why they call it the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. And in Cyprus, there are two sides. We have the Northern Cyprus and the Southern Cyprus. So the Northern Cyprus is where most students come to, which is the side that it's very easy to get a visa, while the other side is the Greek side, and is more of like European side because they speak English in that side, and their standard of living and way of life is more of like the European lifestyle. Meanwhile, the Northern Cyprus is like the lifestyle is like the Turkish lifestyle. So, and their official language in Northern Cyprus is Turkish language, and in the other side, which is the southern side, is Greek. Then the official currency in Northern Cyprus is Turkish lira, same as the official currency in Turkey, which is also Turkish lira. Then in the Southern Cyprus, it is euro. They use euro. So whenever they cross over from south to north, they come with their euro and then they change it in North Cyprus to purchase whatever they want to buy. Also, according to the things going on in the country, that's between them. They had their own war, and also that's why they divided the country into two parts, which made it the northern and the southern side. The border between them is just a very tiny border that is between them, and then they have police patrols there. When you want to cross over, they check if you have visa, which is to cross over. Because as a student, as an African student in Northern Cyprus, you cannot cross over to South Cyprus if you do not have their visa. So you have to get a visa first before you can enter South Cyprus. I don't know if anybody have told you. Now you can enter Cyprus with your South Cyprus with your Northern Cyprus resident permit. Sorry, it is not true. You are not allowed to enter. And any other means of going to Southern Cyprus without a visa, you know the repercussions. So we are not encouraging that, and I'm not even going to go in that aspect. So, brief talk about, let's say, the African student in Northern Cyprus, because that's the top. We are focusing on the northern part, not the southern part. I think every semester or every year, because at the end of every semester there's a graduation. We have about 2 semesters in a year. That's 2 official semesters in a year. And then we have a short semester, which is called the summer semester, that is done during the June to September holiday period. So if you want to graduate earlier, you can pay for summer school and do summer school. So that is not necessary for all students. It depends on if you are financially buoyant to register for summer, then you can go ahead and do it, and which will enable you to graduate very early, earlier than your mates. Maybe you are able to take like 2 to 3 summer school. It will cut down at least one of your semesters or 2 semesters from your normal 4 years study age, which is the normal undergraduate program. So on average, every year or every graduation, they have at least more than 1,000 students graduating from, let's combine all the universities. There are more, but we are just using 1,000 as the average number for an example. And most times we have African people as the valedictorian or the first class guys, the higher honor guys, brilliant people. So it is like that. North Cyprus is a very, very good place to study for anyone who wants to study outside their country at a very lower rate of tuition fee, I would advise Northern Cyprus, because Northern Cyprus has one of the cheapest school fees abroad. So either masters, undergraduates, or PhD, they are very cheap and affordable in terms of education. And in Northern Cyprus, most universities, they take their tuition fee in dollar, excuse me, or in euro. This is because in your country you do not have Turkish lira, so they don't accept tuition fee in Turkish lira. They only accept that from their own citizens, not from foreigners. So foreigners do transfer euros or dollars, or if you want, you can change the money back to their local currency, but even when you get to school, they'll still convert it back to euro and do the calculation based on that euro conversion. So they pay in euro for tuition fees. Some schools accept dollars. Then we talk about house rents. I just want to talk randomly about facts about North Cyprus that you might have heard that is not true, or it might be true. Then the house rents, most landlords, about 90% of landlords, accept house rents in pounds sterling. So the average rent for a 3-bedroom apartment is like £400 or £450. Depends on the house. If it has a swimming pool and other mede, you guys don't know what mede is. Other many fancy things apart from swimming pool. They have a garden and all of that. It can be up to £500-600. So it's your choice to choose whichever one you want. If you want a £400, £450, £500, £700, your pocket will speak for you. That is a 3-bedroom apartment. And in each 3-bedroom apartment, most houses have 2 toilets and 1 bedroom, which would be shared generally by the occupants in the house. And by law, you are allowed to stay at least 3 people in the house, which is one person per room. But you know, we are students, so sharing is allowed. You can decide to share your room with a roommate, which means 3 people, 4 people can stay in the room. If you feel it is hygienic for you and you're okay with it, it's fine. It is not imposed on you by the landlords or by anyone. It is entirely up to you to share your room or to decide to stay in an apartment that is very crowded. If you're someone who likes privacy a lot, you can decide to rent a 1-bedroom, which is called, like, we have a studio and we have 1+1. That's how they call it. So studio, you pay, you have your kitchen, your bedroom, the bedroom, everything in one place. Then the 1+1 is the one you have your room separately, while your parlor is separate, and your toilet and all also. Then we have a 2-bedroom apartment, which is called 2+1. That's how we describe houses here, 2+1. So that 2+1, the minimum rent you can get for a 2-bedroom apartment is £350 per month, which means each room will have to pay £175 per month, which is also entirely up to you to either share or stay alone in your room. You do not have to share. It is not compulsory to share if you can pay the rent. It is allowed, and then you live in your house. You know, some people might say, oh, I don't feel safe living with strangers, a total stranger I don't know from another country in my house. Well, this is why we are called Africans. There are people that stay with the other, maybe if you decide to stay with the white people, the Oyibo people, or you decide to stay with the Africans, you can choose any nationality you want to stay with. It's not a problem. A Zimbabwean can stay with a Nigerian, a Ugandan with Cameroonian. It doesn't matter. There's no differentiation. It's totally up to the occupants in the house. Then you stay on your own. And then when they say, okay, is it true that when you come to North Cyprus you can find a job that you can pay your tuition fee, pay your house rents, pay your bills, and even send money home, maybe to build a house or buy a car? Ha 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 ha. I laugh. Please don't mind me. Okay, well, this is not entirely true, please. Whoever tells you this is deceiving you. It is not possible. Yes, It will be possible, but that wouldn't happen in 1 month or in 1 year. It will take a lot of hard work and determination, and it's not any kind of job that can give you that much money. So let's talk about the normal job students find easily. You can work in restaurants, hotels, casinos. You can work in school libraries. You can work in African restaurants or the Turkish restaurant, or you can work as a clean. You can even decide to have your own cleaning company as a student. Registered, it is more advisable to register, but it is very expensive to register it. So you can either partner with Turkish people and register it, or we always find a way, which I'll tell you. Register your company, not register, sorry, just have your company, organize your gang, your group, and then you start posting flyers. I can clean houses, I can clean offices. Whosoever that is interested in your services, they will call you and you clean. You make small money from that, but that wouldn't be enough to pay your fee or do most of the things you might need to do with money. So it can just help you and support you during your stay as a student. And then there is other lucrative business going on in Cyprus. Is food services. If you know how to cook, if you know how to make hair, whether you're a female or a guy that's to barb hair, as a guy, as a girl, if you can plait hair, or if you can sell hair products, or you can sell African products, you are going to make a lot of money. It's a good business. It works very well. And some people decide to become house agents. When new students start coming in every semester, you have to find accommodation for them. So you, as someone who knows your way around the island, you can look for houses that are for rent, and then you talk to the landlord or an agency. Sometimes they are given to company that handles house. You talk to them, can I bring clients to come and rent a house from you? And then they are going to pay you commission. They are going to make money from getting commission too, because they pay rent in pounds. So obviously your commission is going to be in pounds. Unless if the house rent is paid in Turkish lira, then you're going to get paid your commission in Turkish lira. It's also a very good business that people do to make money. So you can see it is not entirely true when they tell you you can find a job or you cannot find a job. And yes, as much as people are trying to create jobs for themselves, people who want to look for job, there are, but not, it's not everybody that can get a job in an island. Not everybody. Okay, let's say we have 100,000 African students. Do you mean to say that all of 100,000 African students wants to work, or they must find a job? No. There are people that want to look for job. There are people that create job and give to other people, even as a student. It's very possible. So that's it. So finding a job is not that easy, but that doesn't mean you will not find, because at least people are working. They complain the island is hard to find a job, but people are really working. There's hardly a summer that will come and go without an international student finding a job to work and all. And the good thing about North Cyprus is that if your department is flexible, or you feel you are brilliant enough to combine working and schooling at the same time, you are allowed to work. The government will not stop you, or the school will not stop you, unless if you work in high sensitive places like the casino. You need to get a working permit, or working in hotel as the frontier. But if you work in the housekeeping department, you don't have to get a working permit, so you can also work. Or you work in restaurants, you don't have to look for a working permit. You can just work as a part-time student worker, and you get your salary, and it's going to help you also to maintain your monthly bills. It might not do much for you, but it will help you reduce the pressure on your parents. You putting the responsibility entirely on them to fund your fee, your rent, your bills, and all. If you work, you can be able to do most of the things yourself, even if you don't get to pay your tuition fee by yourself. Because like I said in one of my video that I said everything you need to know before relocating abroad is before you go to another man's country, you should know that you pay for every little thing in the country. It is not like back home where we don't even pay for water. We dump our dumpsters anywhere. As long as there's dustbin there, you dump it. Now if you dump your dustbin, there's a dustbin provided to you in your apartment. You pay for it. You pay for it. You pay for internet. You pay for light. You pay for water. You pay for health. You pay for everything. So that's how it is. And then when people say, please, North Cyprus is the worst place so anybody can come to or go to or can be in, I find that statement very, very wrong. How can you say it's the worst place? It is not. Trust me, I have lived in Cyprus for 8 years. It is not the worst place to be in. The rates of racism is not high in North Cyprus. The safety is very, very high compared to other countries that killing of the African people, or let's say international students, or that is very high. Compared to North Cyprus, it is very, very low in Cyprus. And they do not inconvenience students. Trust me. Those living in North Cyprus know, they will understand what I'm talking about when it comes to inconveniencing students. They do not. You just do your own, they do their own. That's all. As long as you're not breaking the rules, it's fine. Then someone say, I will not advise my enemy to come to North Cyprus. And then the person has been in Cyprus for the past 5 years, 6 years. Oh, auntie, brother, please, what are you still doing in Cyprus? If you cannot advise your enemy to come to Cyprus, why haven't you gone back home? Why are you still in the island? Well, you might say you are stranded. So you mean in the last 6 years, you have not worked to gather money to buy flight ticket and go back home? No, you know it is not true. You are just saying it's probably based on what your agent told you about the country, and then you found that it is all lies, it is not correct. So you are so disappointed by that fact that you feel like it is the worst place to be in, which is why I just hope that every agent out there will try their best to relay a genuine and accurate information to new students coming into the island. So when they come here, their expectation, it is not a United States standard or the Canadian standard of living or life. Please try to give out accurate information to prospective students coming in, so they don't get too disappointed. The country is good, it's safe, especially if you are a serious student, you want to school, it's a good place to study with a low tuition fee. So I get asked again that, okay, Gloria, after my graduation, will I be able to stay back in North Cyprus and work? Well, sure. At least a few persons, even my friend, my close friend, my friend of 6 years, she's working now. She graduated 2 years ago, and she has been in Cyprus till now. She's working and earning good cash. The advantage of having a work permit is your salary is higher than a regular student working without a working permit. But to get the working permit, you need to first find a job in a good place, and then if they decide to retain you, they are going to start your working permit application. And then in this process, you have to sign out first as a student, because you came into the country as a student. So they need you to sign out and leave that status of a student and come back in as a worker. So what they do is they give you the option of, maybe you can leave the country for just 24 hours if you wish, or you can make it longer if you wish, however you want to, but they want you to leave the country for at least 24 hours. So most people use Turkey because it's very close to Cyprus. Just get a visa, enter Cyprus, Turkey, 24 hours later you go back. As you're going back, you are no longer going back as a student. Your status has changed permanently. Now you're going back as a worker, and then you get your working permit. So you live under that status of worker with a working permit, no longer a student. And your salary can never be the same with a regular student and his school fees. And you and your employer has the rest of the story to handle. Then other people say, okay, but why can't I get working permit as a student? Well, it's because you have to change your status, and there are some people that work in universities. It's not true that Africans or international students don't get good jobs. We have some African lecturers in our university. When I was doing my undergraduate degree, I had a teacher, a maths teacher. He's from Nigeria. I had another teacher teaching me a course, I think tourism, uh, sustainable tourism or something. She was from Zimbabwe. So we have some Africans, some international students that are doing really well in their education, that they get jobs as lecturers or assistant lecturers or assistant or a supervisor or anything. So it is not true that Africans or international students cannot do important jobs or get important roles. No, it is not true. If you do well in school, you get it. Or you graduate with first class students, you graduate as a first class student, the school itself will offer you a scholarship and they'll tell you to study. They might offer you a position in the school to work for them, maybe even as assistant lecturer or whatever position that is available. So with this much being said, I think I have shed more light about Cyprus. Please do not listen to all those people commenting bad things about Cyprus. There's no place in this world that does not have people dying, people going through stress, people going through unemployment. It's everywhere in the world. It is not only in North Cyprus. The only thing is, you can say you were disappointed or deceived or lied to by your agent. They tell you when you come, you start picking money on the floor. No, it doesn't work like that. So please, when you try to pass out information to other people, don't try to paint the country bad as if really it is not worth living in. There are some of us that God blessed in North Cyprus. As you know, I'm an agent. I started my traveling agent due to what my own agent did to me 8 years ago. That was like 2012. Before coming to Cyprus, he lied to me and lied to my dad and all. So I vowed to myself that I will be a different agent. Whoever comes to my agency, I try my best to give you the best information available. It's not late for you to make up your choice. I do not lie to clients just because I want you to come to Cyprus. No, I want you to see reason why you should come and reason why you shouldn't. I've lost a lot of people because I told them there's no job, it is not easy to find a job, and they're like, no, I want a place where I can pay my school fees. Yeah, it's possible, but you have to hustle hard, you know. You can't just be working maybe in a restaurant and expect to earn a lot of money. It doesn't work like that. You have to do more. And a lot of people doing catering business, baking. I have the best cake baker in North Cyprus, Amma Bakes, my God. Now she has a store. She opened her own store this year. She employed students. So you can see that if you know what you are doing, you can actually start from somewhere. It doesn't happen in one day. It takes time, but something will happen. I did not get to where I am today in 1 year. You can see I'm talking about 8 years ago. I've been in Cyprus for the past 8 years. Although right now I'm currently in Turkey. I've been in Turkey since January, and well, you know what happened. COVID started, and I'm still here. I'll be going back to Cyprus soon though, because I have a brother there, and I am planning to bring another of my brother, which is the younger brother, to the one that is in North Cyprus. So you can see that Cyprus is not bad. I'm not saying this because I'm an agent. I am saying it because from the depth of my heart, if you really want to study abroad at a cheaper rate, you can do it in North Cyprus. But if your parents have the capacity to sponsor it to bigger countries like the UK, the US, the Canada, Europe, it's good. I do not discourage, because I process admission to those countries too. So I hope this video helps you a lot, and if you have more questions, you can send me a message on WhatsApp at +9054 288 or on my email address gloriaedunetwork@gmail.com, or on my Instagram DM. I'll always be available to reply to your message as soon as I can. Thank you for sticking with me from the beginning of this video until this very moment. Thank you. Bye.